Flying over Brazil's Amazon forest is so spectacular because you just look down at this sea of green. It's really breathtaking. But in the next moment, the scene can totally change, and you're looking at huge areas of forest that have been destroyed. We were headed to see one of the native tribes in the Amazon who are seen as a key factor in preserving the forest.
There are 15 different Indian tribes that live in this area, and we're about to go visit one of them. They're called the Mayura Indians.
Bom dia, bom dia. Branca, hein?
John Carter is an American who lives in Brazil and has become an outspoken voice for conserving the Amazon. He's developed a close relationship with some of the indigenous tribes living in the region. The Brazilian government has given indigenous tribes such as the Kamayurá control of over 26% of the Amazon, the idea being that these groups would be able to maintain their traditional culture and in turn help to preserve the forest. Native tribes in the Amazon lead a pretty basic existence. They live off the land by hunting, gathering, and fishing. The Kamayurá don't come in contact with outsiders very often, so Maputa, the village clown, was happy to meet new friends, especially me.
This guy's been following me around all day, telling me that I'm very pretty and that I'm going to be his next wife.
Yeah, Laura's going to stay here. Ela vai ficar aqui.
Don't leave me alone with him, please. Today is the only day that women can kind of have fun and beat up on all the men, so we may see a lot of men walking around with mango juice all over them. So this is the cause of all the chaos. This is a gourd of some sort, and this is a vagina. And the men who hold this are free to be beaten up by women if they can catch them. This is the inside of one of the huts. About 40 people live here. They sleep on hammocks that are strung up on the side of the huts, and inside it's very open. And they have another thing that you really wouldn't expect. They have a TV here, and every single hut has a satellite dish.
Yeah, they have satellite dishes, and they turn the generator on at night, and for 2 hours they watch the Brazilian novela, which is a soap opera. So they're very in touch with reality today. The government health department installed potable water here for the village. They have a pipeline that goes around the whole village. They have water for each hut. Up until the 90s, they were pretty much isolated. In the 90s, with deforestation and roads coming in, networks of trails and roads for ranchers, now they have more access to get out. So in the last 10 years, they've started to begin to lose their culture. But they're still, it's hard to say on the scale, but probably 80%, 90% intact culturally.
The Kamayurá want to carry on the traditions of the tribe, but they also want to enjoy things from beyond the Amazon. And it's this clash between the traditional and modern that poses a dilemma not only for the Kamayurá, but for the outside world.
The more that they get, the more tractors they get, the more cars they get, the more stuff they get. They need to have maintenance, they need to have money to maintain their tractors, gasoline for their outboards, et cetera, et cetera. And they don't have any source of income. It's a very difficult problem, and if it's not addressed pretty quickly, we've already seen signs that the Indians may resolve it the way that they want through their logic, through deforestation or selling timber.
How much time do you think is left to help these people before they may take things into their own hands and threaten the forest?
If you want to base it on what I've seen outside the park, it could happen at a fast pace. It's a matter of a generation, probably.
What becomes of the Kamayurá and the forest surrounding them remains to be seen. John and other groups are trying to help Indian tribes in the Amazon by finding alternatives to deforestation so that the Kamayurá and other tribes might be able to maintain their culture with a modern twist.